Hey you guys, what is up? It is Blind Eye and I am back, baby. Back for episode 2 of the Blind Eye podcast. And today I'm going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff, from getting my dream dog to what's been going on for the past 2 years, however long it's been since I last recorded the podcast. Just so much stuff. I can't list it all here. It's just so much stuff I'm going to be blabbing, so just get some popcorn, get ready, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, because there's going to be a lot to talk about today on episode 2 of the Blind Eye podcast. Let's do this. All right. Wow. I can't believe I waited, 2 years to record another episode of the podcast? But better late than never. So, yeah, I'm just going to blab and talk, and however long this is ends up being the length. So, I'm not shooting for a certain time limit. I'm just going to start hitting record and go. So, basically, I've just been chilling. Just haven't felt the need to make a podcast episode, I guess. But, I mean, it's been 2 years. Why not? Let's bring the podcast back. Let's do this shit. So, this is actually good because I've been wanting to get back into doing podcast episodes, and let me just bring this up first. So, for Christmas, now we are officially in 2024. Today, as of recording, it is February 1st, 2024. The last podcast episode I did was like January 22nd, 2021 or 2. Something like that. One of the two. I think it was 20. Yeah, it was 22. That's right. Yeah. It's been that long. Nothing much has changed, really. I mean, I got a PS5, I got a PSVR 2, I got an Xbox Series S, if that's any, like, consolation or whatever. Oculus Quest 2, Meta Quest 2, whatever the hell it's called now. I'm still going to call it Oculus. Nintendo Switch Lite, yellow Nintendo Switch Lite. Got all that stuff. I got a green screen for movies. And as far as this last Christmas, for 2023, I got so much cool stuff. I got a projector. I got a podcast kit, which is where this is where I was going. So this is why I wanted to get back into podcasting. So I got a podcast kit for Christmas. I got the boom arm. I got a microphone and a headphones bundle, and the boom arm was separate. The only thing I am missing, the only thing I need to get is a mixer. We have one in the other room. My mom uses it, but it's like for like her singing, it's all set up for that, and it's like huge. And the mixer that I want to get is, it goes with the microphone and the headphones and stuff, so I want to match it. So I'm gonna work on getting that at some point soon, but I kind of wanted to do it the old way, so this is the way I'm recording this podcast as I did with the first one. It's on my iPad in iMovie, just hitting record and go. The microphone that you're currently hearing is just a pair of earbuds with a microphone attached on the wire plugged into the iPad. That's it. So this is going to be interesting because I want to see how this is going to sound compared to when I get the proper equipment and all that, but that ain't going to be happening for a bit. Because I got to get the money together. I got to get that, because that's like $180 or whatever, but I'll get it eventually. And when I do, I'm gonna change up the music intro, the logo. It's still gonna be the Blind Eye podcast. I just want to like update it with when I get the equipment and to get to do this properly. So the logo is gonna look way better. This black and red and white, I want to keep that color scheme because that's Blind Eye colors. But the image is definitely gonna change for sure. Want to make it look way better and not how it looks. I mean, it looks cool. The idea was cool, but I'm gonna change it up and kind of relaunch it. It's like 2.0, Blind Eye Podcast 2.0 when that comes. But that won't be for a while. So for now, I'm going to record the episodes like I always do with the earbuds, and it really sounds good. If this sounds amazing, so like I said, I can't wait to see the difference in sound and all that good stuff. So with all of that out of the way, we are going to get into the first topic, which is going to be how I finally got my dream dog, Chip the Pug. All right, so where do I begin with this? So for years, I am talking years, I've always wanted the pug. Now, way back in the day, I was like, because the one in Men in Black was really the one that I knew of as far as pugs were concerned. Like back in the day, like I was like, that. I mean, he's an alien, so he's not supposed to look cute. But I mean, when they put him in the suit, like they put the dog in the suit, like that was cute as hell back in the day. And but what really got me into wanting a pug so damn bad was this is when I used to live in Daytona at the Conklin Center and all that stuff. I went through all that in episode 1. If you haven't listened to that, I highly suggest that you do. I go in through my whole history, my backstory, like my visual impairment and all that stuff, and being born 3 months before I was supposed to be. I'm not gonna go over that again here. And go back over that episode and listen to it if you want. Anyway, so I came back home to visit, and I don't know if it was Christmas, Thanksgiving, some type of holiday or whatever, but I was home, and uh, my aunt and uncle had a dog with him. The dog's name was Maggie, and it was a pug. And I thought it was the cutest damn thing ever. And so ever since that moment is where I've wanted a pug, and I came up with the idea, and I'm like, oh my god, if I ever get a pug one day, it's gonna be a boy, and I'm gonna name him Chip because he'll look like a chocolate chip cookie, because you have obviously their paws, that color, that fawn color, that like light brown cookie dough color, and then you add in like the paws as like little chocolate chips. But I've always said it's like because they look like a chocolate chip cookie because he's got the brown fur, the black nose, the black face, the black eyes, the black ears. That's why I want to name him Chip, because he look like a chocolate chip cookie. I've said this for years. And so a couple of years ago, we had another dog here named Cookie, and she was an American Eskimo toy breed. And, we've had her for a long time, 15, 16 years, something like that. And she was coming up on her last legs. Like, we knew, like, it was her time. Her time was coming. So we just randomly go to Orlando to go to the pet store one night. And we weren't planning on coming home with any dog or anything like that. We just decided to go. And mom and my stepdad, they were, more so mom, she was eyeing a bunch of different breeds. Like one was a Pomsky, another one was another American Eskimo toy breed. There was a couple that she was eyeing. And of course, I went there because I wanted to see the pugs. And there was no shortage of pugs. And so they're like, okay, you can pick a dog. You come over here into this little holding area, and you can, hang out with the dog for a bit. And we got to pick up to 3. And so we go in there, and we're looking at the pugs, and we're just like, I was like, I ain't looking at any other dogs. I'm looking at the pugs. And so we sit in there in the little cubicle thing, and they bring out a little baby puppy pug, and he was so damn cute, and he was looking up at me and looking at us. We're all like loving on him, and he was like like trying to bite my hoodie zipper on the hoodie, and he was just so cute. And so then they take him back, and then we look at an American Eskimo puppy. And this dog was beautiful. It was just like, it was a little version of Cookie, and it was cool. And so then where it's like, all right, you want to see another dog? Like, yeah, let's bring back the pug. Bring back the pug. He's like so damn cute. And so we're just hanging out with him, and my mom and stepdad are like, I think we're going to get him. I think we're going to get this dog. And I was like, "Oh my god, are you serious? Are we going to bring this dog home right now?" And sure enough, we did. We went to the register. They took him back. They cleaned him up, and we got him. We got him. And I named him Chip, exactly like I always said. And so we went back in the car, and we went to Walmart, got a bunch of dog stuff, and we were up till like 4 in the morning, like playing with him and all this fun stuff. And I just couldn't believe it that I finally got my dream dog. But the funny thing about all of this is that I'm supposed to be the one that he latches onto. I'm supposed to be the favorite. I'm the dad of this dog. I am a proud pug parent. I am the daddy. That's how he knows me. He knows me as daddy. I am not the favorite. Turns out the favorite is his grandma, aka my mother. And he is attached to her like glue. If she goes to leave the house to go anywhere, whether it's for 5 minutes or 5 hours, like he freaks out at first. And when she comes home, he freaks out. Most of the time, when it's just me and him, he's just chilling and sleeping and doing his thing because, pugs like to sleep a lot. And I'm the second favorite for sure. Like, I know that. Like, when mom ain't around, he's around me. So, but I think what did it was, it was a week. We had him for like a week, maybe two, and I'm like constantly playing with him, hanging out with him, and doing all that. And then I left for like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, to go hang out with my friends, and Chip and Mom definitely bonded the whole time. Like while I was gone, he was a little tiny little thing, and he wouldn't be able to jump up and down off the couch because he was so small. While I was gone, he was doing that. So I definitely missed out on like the bonding and the imprinting or whatever. But it's all good. He loves all of us, and we love him. So he's gotten so big. He grew up so fast, and he's the cutest dog. Not just the cutest pug, which he is, but he is the cutest dog. If you don't think this dog is cute or is the cutest dog or the cutest pug, then there is something wrong with you. I'm just saying. Like this dog, I love this dog. He's my little man, my little buddy, my little stinker, my little shit. He has a lot of nicknames. But yeah, and like him and Cookie, when we had to get them to meet. Cookie was obviously not a fan, and Chip, he just wants to be everybody's friend. That's all he wants. And yeah, while I was gone, uh, Cookie did pass away. My mom texted me and she's like, "Hey, we're, thinking about, you know, letting go of Cookie." And I was just like, "Yeah, do it." Because I honestly didn't want to be there for that. So they took her to the vet and they did what they did, and you know, rest in peace, Cookie. And now we got Chip. And now I'm already planning the next damn dog. Like at some point, I don't think I'll ever get another dog. I don't know. We'll never say never, but one dog that would be cool is to get a Dalmatian, and I would name it Domino. And I would want it to be a boy. But I heard Dalmatians are like high energy, like they're crazy and they get really big. So I don't know. But yeah. now that I got Chip, it's just like he's awesome. He's like the best dog ever, and I could just go on and on and on and on and on about this dog. There, I have an Instagram for him, Chip the Pug. His birthday is November 1st, and yeah, he's gonna be 3 this year. So yeah, I love this little dog so much, and I think it's time to move on to the next topic. So let me look at my notes and see what the next topic is, and we shall get to it. Probably more of me blabbing, obviously. All right, let's do this. The next topic. Let's go. All right, so I looked at my notes. I think we're gonna do this Thanksgiving uh, section here because this is gonna be a big one. So a lot of stuff happened in this. So basically, for Thanksgiving 2023, normally for Thanksgiving we just have like a get together here at the house, dinner, family, all that stuff, have fun. This year we did something different. We actually went out of state to go to, as my family calls it that lives over there, the SIP, aka Mississippi. And we were there for like 2 weeks, about I think about 2 weeks, a little less than that. Anyway, but we were there, we were gone, and it was so much fun. We drank literally every night because that's how we roll. Why not? Um, it was so much fun, so many memories made. I brought my Oculus Quest 2 so family could try that, and they were having fun with that. I did debate, like, do I want to bring my PS5 and PSVR 2, but I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. That stays here. But anyway, the big portion of this trip for 2 days, I finally got to go to New Orleans, Nolans, NOLA, whatever you want to call it. I'm probably going to say it multiple different ways, so deal with it. So, this had to be like one of the coolest experiences ever going to New Orleans for the first time. I virtually been to New Orleans with the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 1 and 2 games. That's as close to New Orleans as I've been. But actually being there, and then I was like on the streets, I'm like, oh my god, they nailed it in the game. They nailed it in the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners games. It's like perfect. Obviously, minus the apocalypse and the zombies, obviously. But it was so cool. Yes, I had the beignets. I had the famous beignets, and they were amazing. So good, so good. But here we go. So the first night we all go out. It was me, my mom, and my 3 cousins. And the first night, one of my cousins wasn't feeling good, so she just kind of stayed in the room, and the rest of us went out, and we went to this karaoke bar called the Cat's Meow, which is, I guess, like the most well known or most popular karaoke bar in all of the United States or something. I don't know. But we went there, and we went like at the beginning of the week. We were there Monday night and Tuesday night, so it was dead, which is kind of good because I kind of didn't want to deal with a big crowd, like literally crowding the streets, and I heard about pickpocketers and all that, so I was like more concerned about getting pickpocketed. But I didn't have to worry about it because it was like there was like nobody there, and it was like perfect because it was like the way to experience New Orleans for the first time. I do kind of want to experience it when it's like hopping. Like, I would love to go during Mardi Gras, of course. I would love to go there during Mardi Gras just because I love. It just sounds like a really fun time. So, so basically, it was just hanging out and drinking for 2 nights. Um, so that was fun. The second night, this is where it gets crazy. So the second day, mom wasn't feeling good, And so she just kind of stayed back in the hotel this time. Um, so it was me and then my three cousins. So the one cousin that wasn't feeling good the day before joins us the second night. So it was all of us. And first we go, like, we went bar hopping. Just like all these different places that we wanted to go, we went to, except for the dungeon. We didn't go there. I wanted to, but maybe next time. But so we went to the Ghost Bar. That was cool. Had pizza there. We went to like I forget what it's exactly called, but it was like a pirate bar, like it was all black. All the drinks were black. You could everything in there was black, and that we went there. I had a drink there, and it was like a slushy drink. That was cool. Before I forget, like the big thing, like I was all about like the voodoo. Like I want a voodoo doll. Like I don't know about a real one, but I just wanted a cool voodoo doll, and I got one, and I named him Calypso because why not? Calypso's a dope name. So yeah, I got the voodoo doll that I wanted, and it's awesome. So that second night, this is where it's gonna get crazy. So we're like going out to different bars, the Carousel Bar. Like I don't think we did the Dueling Piano Bar. I don't think no, we didn't do that. But so the second night, we're partying it up. We're getting wasted. We're having fun. We're at this one bar where there's a band there. They played Paint It Black, so I was like loving that. We go to another place, and I go to use the restroom. And I go, and I was like, what the hell kind of toilet is that? You just kind of like go in this metal thing. I was like, okay, that's weird, but cool and interesting at the same time. So I'm washing my hands. And then I see like all these different kinds of colognes. You got Axe body spray. You got these crazy colognes all lined up. I didn't really need anything. I didn't need to spray anything on. I just seen some Axe there. I'm like, oh, why not? Just go. And I literally went like this, like literally two little sprays. And I put it back. And then I go to leave, and there's this dude standing there like, he's like, hey, you gotta pay to use that. And I had no idea. I had no idea. I was like, so he said I have to pay to use. I was like, he needs like a tip or whatever. So I'm looking at my wallet. I'm like, oh crap, I don't have any cash. I was like, I didn't know. I had no idea. I don't have cash on me, but hold on, I'll be right back. And so I leave. I left the restroom. I'm like, I find my cousins. I'm like, yo, we got to get the hell out of here. We got to go like now. Like I went and used this spray in the bathroom. I didn't have no money for a tip or whatever. I didn't know I was supposed to pay this dude or whatever. I barely even used it. I went like that, and so I'm like freaking out, and I'm like drunk. So I'm like, yo, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. So we leave, and I tell them what the hell's going on, and so it's like, yeah, that happens. So now at least I know now. Like next time, I'll have like $5 or something on me, if you know. And so we go. Okay. Oh man, I don't know if I want to save the. I want to save the big thing for last. So we go out to a couple other bars, and there was this one cool spot where it was a dance floor and a stage, and like they were rocking it. They were rocking it. We were all like dancing and all that stuff, having fun, and like they took like popular songs and stuff, but they had like a bunch of people on like trumpets and horns and all this cool stuff. It was so loud, but it was so cool. We had so much fun there, but this is where it gets crazy. So during this trip, um, my cousin was like wanting to go see a cabaret show, and I guess it's like the Vegas showgirls kind of thing. I guess it's something like that. I had no idea. I was like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. And during this trip, I said how my aunt, who passed away like years and years ago, back in 2009, she said that she was gonna take me to an adult club, and I've never been to one. So I'm telling my cousins, like, yeah, she was supposed to take me. I mean, it would have been kind of awkward, but whatever. She said she was going to take me, and then, if she passed away, she never got to do it. And so then we're just walking around trying to find the next place to go. And so we just go into this one place. They check our IDs, we go in, and then we sit down. And then I see a pole. I'm like, wait. We're all sitting down. I look at them. I'm like, wait. Where the hell are we right now? We are not where I think we're at. And we were at Rick's. And what was funny is my cousin thought it like she didn't know that it was an adult club like that. She thought it was gonna be like a show or something, but hey, it was a show, all right. And oh my god, and like I was awkward and nervous as hell the whole time because I'd never been to one of these. I've always wanted to. Now I can knock that off the bucket list, and so yeah, it was cool. I'll never be able to hear some of these same songs the same way because now every time I hear any of these songs, I'm gonna think about this night. So, but it was wild, man. It was so freaking crazy that night. And yeah, then the third day was the last day. That's when we had the beignets and had fun and all this crazy stuff. So that was a New Orleans trip, Nolans trip, Nola trip, whatever. Yeah, it was great, and I definitely want to go back to New Orleans for sure. Not sure when, but Mardi Gras would be dope. Just saying. Uh, all right, so there might be a weird little cut here, but it's all right. So basically, I almost forgot to talk about like one of the coolest parts of this whole New Orleans trip. So I was literally typing in the description of this episode for the video to go onto YouTube. And as like right as I'm about to almost like basically upload this, I realized I forgot to talk about this really cool part of the trip. So the second night, we're out and about bar hopping. So uh, I had to go to the Vampire Cafe. Like I had to do this. So we went there. I mean, there wasn't really much of anything that I would eat there because I'm picky. Um, but I ate some sides or whatever. And the main reason I wanted to go there is because I wanted to go to the hidden secret location of the Vampire Speakeasy. Like that's at a completely different location. And you have to get a card. So we go to the front after we're done eating. We're like, hey, how do we get into like the hidden location? And the guy just literally says like, he's like, I got you. And he gives us this card. We go and we find the place. We have a drink downstairs because this place is upstairs. And what's cool is it's literally like a hidden location. It's literally hidden. You go into this bar and you have all these people chilling obviously and having a good time, and then there's this jazz band that's playing, and that was cool. It was so awesome. Before we went in there, I had like a lemon drop martini thing or whatever. It was good. And then afterwards, and like the whole time you're seeing people going in and out of these double doors because the double doors to go to this location are behind the stage, behind the band playing. So we make our way back there, and it's like this whole courtyard thing. It's awesome. There's people chilling back there doing their thing. And then on the card it says to look for the vampire. And there's literally a dude chilling back there, sitting at a table, writing in a book with like these creepy flickering candles, and like the dude's like decked out. He's got the whole vampire get up on, the teeth, the nails. And so I was nervous as all hell. I'm like, is that him? Is that not him? What if it's not him? I mean, it probably is him, but what if it's not? And then it's going to be awkward and whatever. But it turns out it was him because my cousin was just like, all right, just give me the card. And then she goes up and, hey, is this the right spot? And then he like completely turns it on. He's like, yes, you are in the right place. And like, You got to pay to get in, and so there was a whole thing there. You pay him, and then he stamps your wrist with like this cool blood drop looking stamp. And he had like he had like sharp nails, and his hands were cold. I was like, holy shit, how like this is crazy. This is like this dude's into it, and I'm into it. I'm like queuing up like Queen of the Damned Lestat music. Like I'm like into it. I'm like raring to go. So another big reason why I wanted to come here to the Vampire Bar and the Hidden Speakeasy is because like when I was little, like I never wore braces and my teeth got like they grew in all weird. And on the upper, my left, your right, I have this tooth that's kind of like it kind of sticks out, but it kind of like grew in all jagged and weird. But it looks cool because I like to call it my vampire tooth because that's what I like to think of it. It's so cool. So the whole time I'm like, we go up. So the dude leads us upstairs. We go and there's like this cool room. It's all like dark and spooky, and there's like some cats chilling up there, and this lady, bartender lady's all decked out like a witch. There's a balcony you can go on and see like down below the streets outside, which like I said it was, dead at that time that we went, so there wasn't much happening. But it was still cool. But what was really awesome is I got the two themed drinks. One of them was okay, but the other one that you pay a little extra for, you get it in like a themed vial, like a little glass, like a little bottle type thing. That was good. Whatever that was amazing. And so like the whole time I'm talking to the witch lady, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like one of you. I'm like playing the part. I'm like totally into it. I'm like, I'm one of you. Like this is cool. Like what do you think I am? And then she said I was a fledgling, which is cool. And so then we go do our thing. We go back downstairs, and I'm like, I gotta get a picture with this dude. I've got to get a picture with this dude. This is like just too damn cool. And so, yep, there we go. Took the picture, and then I was like, hey, I mentioned him that I got the tooth going, and he's like, oh yes, that's like so. Yeah, that was awesome. I can't believe I forgot to talk about it. How did I forget about it? I don't know. I was probably too concerned about the Ricks. I completely forgot about all the cool vampire shit. So I just had to come back and throw this in here. So now I'm going to do my thing, process the video, and then upload it. So time to get back to whatever I was going to get back into. So here we go. Yeah, so then we head back to the SIP, and here's where the next little chunk of story comes. So while we were in New Orleans, my stepdad and a bunch of the guys were out hunting, and he had brought Chip with him. And Chip was always by his side, there was no issues. And so Thanksgiving has passed, we all hung out. So this is this next weekend. So this is this Saturday. And it's like a couple days before we leave to go back to Florida. And we're all just hanging out, wondering what we're going to do for the day. The guys are out at the hunting grounds or the campgrounds or wherever. Chip is with them, my stepdad, and all that. And we're just hanging out at my cousin's house, and we just get a call, and it's my stepdad, and he's like, sounds like really upset. And so my cousin hands over the phone to mom, like, he sounds really upset. So, like, we got to see what's going on. And he's on the phone, and he's like, he sounds like really upset. Like, he's scared, he's crying, he's like freaking out. And he's calling us. He's basically said that he lost Chip. Like, he couldn't find him. And I guess like he went somewhere for like a minute, like maybe 2 minutes, and he turned back around and Chip was gone. Nowhere to be seen. And where they were at, there was woods surrounding all around him, and like there's like there's animals in the woods. You don't know what's in there. There's other people hunting. So it's like, like we were all freaking out. So we drive over there. We're looking for him. We get all this hunting gear on to go in the woods. I got boots on. I got a camo outfit on. I got the bright orange vest on. Like, we're gonna find this dog. And of course, like, my mood changed. Obviously, like I was in shut down mode. Like when something happens and something upsets me or bothers me or something crazy like that happens, like I shut down. I don't say anything. I don't do anything. I keep to myself, and because I got to process it, and I just do my thing. So it's getting later and later and later and later, darker and darker and darker and darker. And we were looking for this dog. Like, we are looking. And so we're all just sitting by the fire. And my mom was standing in some spot somewhere. And she comes back because we're all sitting by the fire. And all of a sudden, my cousin just goes, Chip! And then we turn around, and here comes the dog. Here comes Chip just trotting out of the woods, like not a scratch on him, nothing broken, no scratches, no bruises, no matted fur, no cuts, no scrapes, no nothing. He's perfectly fine. I mean, maybe he was a little bit cold. I don't know, but like, my mom, like, we freaked out. We were like, oh my God. And so I guess when she went to approach him, he kind of like backed up a bit because he was probably confused. And yeah, we were hugging on him, loving on him, and we were just like, "Oh my God, I can't believe he came back!" Like that, we got so lucky that he came back because we thought like the worst. Like, what if an animal got him, or he fell in a hole and he can't get out, and he's like, he's lost, or like a bird like scooped him up and took him, or someone was driving by and they saw him and they took him. And my stepdad was like going all over the place and knocking on people's doors and telling them about the dog. And like there was like, and I did have that going through my head. I'm like, we might be going home without Chip. And like, I was just kind of keeping that in my head in case that happened, like in case we couldn't find him. Like, we would have stayed as long as we could have to find the dog. But thank goodness he just came walking out the woods. It's dark at this point, and now we just don't let him leave our sight. We were like, yeah, I don't think he's coming back to go to the camp with you. He's like, nope. My stepdad was like, nope, he's going back with you guys, and where we can keep an eye on him. And so we get back home, and I was staying at my one cousin's, my mom and Eric, my stepdad. They were staying at uh, my other cousin's house, and they live right across the street. So I was chilling with one, and so we're inside, we're talking and just hanging out, whatever. And then thank goodness we were right in the certain spot, because then we hear like this scratching at the door. We're like, what the hell was that? And we look outside, and there's Chip right at the front door, scratching at the door. I'm like, oh my God, we almost lost you twice. This he like, good thing that we heard that, because that would have been a crazy, like, that would have just been insane having to chase him down again. But this time it would have been in the neighborhood where there's cars and roads. It would have been bad. So I'm glad I heard them scratching at the door. So it's like, okay, we got him back home, and then yeah, that was that was basically our trip to the SIP, and it was great. We are planning on meeting up again for St. Patrick's Day this year, 2024, in March, I believe. So that's gonna be great. I'm sure I'll have a podcast episode about all that, whatever the hell goes down with that trip. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, this New Orleans trip and the Mississippi, the SIP trip, it was so much fun. It was awesome. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the SIP trip. So looks like it's time to move on to the new topic. We're gonna talk video game stuff. So let's get right into it. All right, so this is probably where some of you are going to tune out, and that's all right with me, but I'm just going to blab about one of my other favorite hobbies besides filmmaking is video games. So let's start it up, baby. My favorite console of choice that I like to game on the most is PlayStation. Always been a PlayStation guy. Always will be, because that is just how it is. So my history with PlayStation, just real quick. is I when I was little, my cousins had a PlayStation, so I would always game on it. And classic games that I first gamed on the PlayStation would be Twisted Metal, and that is the first game I ever beat, and it is my favorite game franchise of all time is Twisted Metal because that's the first game I ever beat, and I beat it as Hammerhead because monster trucks are awesome. I remember like it was just yesterday too. If I just think back, I remember exactly how that went. I remember reading the text after I beat the game as Hammerhead, how he wanted new tires and all that stuff, and he drives away. Yeah, buddy. And then another classic game on PlayStation, Skull Monkeys. It is a side scroller, but it's clay animation, and it is just it's so good. It's amazing. So I've always been in the PlayStation. Obviously, I played Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, all of those. Um, Eventually got a PS2, Grand Theft Auto 3, but Grand Theft Auto Vice City is the best one. That's the one I played the most on PS2, and then of course San Andreas. And the PSP came out. Um, Twisted Metal Head On, obviously. Obviously, we got Twisted Metal Black for PS2. All the Twisted Metal games, I played them all and I beat them all. They're all amazing. Um, yeah, Grand Theft Auto, Liberty City Stories, and Vice City Stories on PSP. And then eventually PS3, I got one of those after a while. I had the, not the original PS3, I had the one that came out after that, the PS3 Slim. And then there was a bunch of crazy games on that, and it was so good. And then I got the Super Slim eventually after I got robbed, which sucks. That's a whole story that I went through already in episode 1. Go listen to it if you want. Uh, and then eventually got a PS4, and here we are, baby, PS5, and I can't forget about PSVR. PSVR is where it's at. So I had a PSVR for a while. Loved it. I love the PSVR. It's so good. Virtual reality is like a whole another world, literally. It's so good. And after a while that my PSVR eventually just stopped working. I don't know why it did. First the Move controllers stopped working, and so like I need to first I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to get another pair of those. And right when I was about to make the purchase, my PlayStation VR just stopped working altogether. I don't know what the hell happened, so I was like bummed out for a while. So then I eventually got an Oculus Quest 2 and gamed on that for a while. And then PS5s were like coming out, but you could hardly get them. So it was a while before I got one of those. Then my friend got one, a PS5. I was like, oh, that's badass. And then I did a work from home job for like a couple weeks and made some money, and then I was able to get a PS5. This is like right at the tail end of them being available. So I was so happy I got a PS5. Played Destruction All Stars, of course I did, because that's the closest thing we got to Twisted Metal right now. Speaking of Twisted Metal, we got a full-on series of it, season 1. I'm definitely gonna have to make a podcast dedicated to that, and so expect that coming in the future for sure. And I'm hyped up because we are getting Twisted Metal season 2. We'll get into that at another time. So I eventually got a PSVR 2, and let me tell you something. PlayStation VR 2 is so good. And if you go on the channel, which is where you're at right now, at least until I get this on like Apple Podcasts and Spotify, I got to figure out how to do that. But for now, this is on the podcast is only on YouTube right now. Um, yeah, PlayStation VR is just so good, and PlayStation VR 2 is just blows that out of the water. It's amazing. There's haptics in the headset. The headset rumbles. There's the adaptive triggers on the Sense controllers, and it's so good. But you guys will see all that. I have recently I've been getting back into video game stuff because that's just easier to do. Like I said, I'm a filmmaker at heart, so there's you'll see some stuff film based stuff pop up every once in a while, but mostly it's going to be video game stuff. I think just because it's just easier to do stuff like reviews Let's plays, first impressions, all that stuff. Mostly all that type of stuff is going to be VR because VR is amazing. And yeah, I also have an Xbox Series S. So my history with Xbox is I've always, like I said, always been a PlayStation guy. I eventually got an Xbox. I forget how I got it, but I had one growing up. So I had a PS2 and an OG Xbox, which was cool. And I played them both. I played the hell out of both of them. I love them. Xbox obviously has Fable. That's like my favorite Xbox exclusive. I played all those. I cannot wait for the new one, despite everyone being negative about it and all talking shit about it when they haven't even seen actual gameplay or nothing. Going based off the trailers, and it's like, come on now. But anyway, I'm excited for Fable. Halo, never got into it. All growing up through school, all the kids, all the dudes would be talking about Halo. Oh, you played Halo, 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 Halo. And it got really annoying. And then when Halo 2 came out, it was even worse. I have dabbled in Halo. It's okay. It's alright. But I did get an Xbox 360, but the circumstance with that was my friend when I was living in Daytona at the Conklin Center, which is the blind school. I made friends there, and one of those friends, we had like a little group. We were MAD. We were the Mad group because of our names. It was Matt, Andrew, and myself, Doug. So uh, Andrew unfortunately passed away in a car accident. That's a whole thing. And so I basically inherited his Xbox 360 and all his games, which was, it was cool, but obviously given the circumstance, it sucked. But I was like, hey, I get an Xbox 360. Okay, let's see what we got. So I played a lot of games there, which was cool. And then, like, I just went back to PlayStation, but um, here we are now. I didn't get an Xbox One or nothing like that, but I do have the Xbox Series S. It's all digital, no discs, which is cool. Well, my PS5, I made sure I got the disc one because, yeah, I had to. Um, but yeah, I've been playing. I play both of them. There'll be times where I play PlayStation more so, or there'll be times where I'm playing Xbox more so, and then a lot of times I'm playing VR. Um, that's mostly what I play. So yeah, check out the channel. There's a bunch of Let's Plays reviews. Reviews are coming. There's gonna be a lot more of those, and first impressions videos and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just blabbing about video game stuff. I think I'm gonna do an episode 3 of the podcast. I think I might just make it all video game and talk because we had a Sony State of Play yesterday, January 31st, and there's some games I want to talk about, so I might just dedicate an episode about just talking about that, which would be cool. So yeah, I don't want to blab too long about the video game stuff. So let's see. Let me look at my notes again here, and let's see what else we got. All right. Let's get into this. G Fuel. I gotta talk about my new obsession now. G Fuel, baby. So I got into G Fuel recently. Like, I've always known about G Fuel, but I never like dabbled in it. And for some reason, like recently, like the past month, I was like, "Oh, G Fuel, that's pretty dope. I want to see what's up." And then, so back when Twisted Metal came out, I saw like G Fuel. They're bringing out a flavor. I don't know why it didn't hit me then to like rock this, but I think it was just the flavor that I saw, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." It's, whatever. And then I found out about that there's a collector's box. G Fuel does collector's boxes of a bunch of different stuff and flavors. Now they have flavors that are in the cans, which I've always had. I've never had the powder stuff until now. Uh, Obviously, I had to get the Twisted Metal collector's box, which I got, and it is so freaking cool. I've had it for a week now, and I love it. This is the start of a whole new thing. This is going to be the start of a whole new obsession and collection because now that I got one, I want a bunch more. And I've already got a list. So, as far as collector's boxes go, A Nightmare on Elm Street, aka Freddy Krueger's got one. He's got a whole collector's box, a whole shaker, the tall shakers, the stainless steel metal shakers, which is what this Twisted Metal one is. The flavor for Twisted Metal is sour strawberry cotton candy. It is so good. It's amazing. But the next flavors I'm eyeing, I'm not sure which is going to be next, but um, there like I said, there's a Freddy Krueger flavor. It's like tart fruit punch or something like that. So it's either going to be that or it's going to be the Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty box set, which is uh, pineapple banana. Not the biggest fan of pineapple. I'm not a fan of it, but it's got banana, so I kind of want to try that one because there's not a lot of banana flavored stuff. There's a Cyberpunk Edge Runners one, but it's like not on the G Fuel site. I would have to get the flavor like through eBay, but the flavor for that sounds so good. It's apple, banana, and grape. That is like that just sounds amazing. And let's see, that's not a collector's box. There are, but it's expensive for that one. But I wouldn't spend that much money on it. But other flavor collector's boxes I want to get is Crash Bandicoot. Now I have had the canned version of the Crash Bandicoot flavor, which is Wumpa Fruit, which is apple and mango, and it is amazing. Not a fan of mangoes that much either, but damn, that was a good flavor, and I would love to get the collector's box of that. It's got a tall stainless steel shaker, Crash Bandicoot themed, which is awesome. Oh man, there's so many. There's so many of them, and there's gonna be even more. I bet you there's gonna be even more than what's out already. There's a Jason one from Friday the 13th, which looks cool. There's so many, but the one of those is gonna be next as far as like collector's box that I'm gonna get. As far as that, there's also a glow in the dark shaker because I do want to get a smaller one and see how that is compared to the taller ones, as far as flavor wise. There's that. There's the glow in the dark one that comes with 7 different flavors you can pick from. I want to get that. There's a Moon Knight bundle shaker and flavor on eBay. There's a Frankenstein tall shaker, a pumpkin uh smaller shaker themed. But the next flavor I think I'm gonna get, well, the Moon Knight one is moonberry, which sounds good. There's some generic flavors like watermelon mint. That sounds cool. There's a blueberry lemonade one. There's a blue raspberry vanilla one with Mega Man. There's just so many flavors, but I think the next flavor I'm gonna get because I want to. Oh man, like I want to get this next flavor, which is candy corn. That's on the G Fuel site. I want to get that with the Frankenstein shaker and or the pumpkin shaker, both of those or whatever. I want to get the candy corn flavor with one or both of those shakers together, but I kind of want to wait till September or October to do it just because it's that time. But I kind of feel like I want to get it like February or March just to have it, just in case it's like not gone bad or something. But that's the thing though, like you never know when there's going to be a sale, which I did hear that there's a rumor that there's going to be a buy one get one sale for Valentine's Day. I hope that's true because it's about to go down. Fortnite, we're about to get down. I love that song, by the way. That song is the shit. So good. Um, there's so much flavors and stuff that I want to get with G Fuel now. This is gonna be a whole big thing. Now I'm like, oh, what if they come out with a Ghostbusters one for when the new movie comes out? What if we get this? What if we get that? Like it's just insane. Like this, like I said, this is like the start of a whole new thing, and I'm excited. So yeah. So I think that's it with all the topics, at least that I can think of right now. I blabbed on long enough, so I gave you all some little updates as to what I've been doing. Like I said, basically nothing too crazy, just doing my thing, making videos, all that stuff. So, yeah, I think I've talked your ears off for long enough. So, thank you all so much for checking out episode 2 of the Blind Eye Podcast. I know it's been quite some time since the last one. I will try to be better about not making an episode every 2 years. That's obviously going to change. Yeah, stay tuned because there's going to be more episodes coming. Definitely want to do an episode talking about the Sony State of Play, so look out for that for episode 3. Definitely going to be doing episodes just strictly based on the narrator anthology series. I want to go into that. I want to do another episode based on my other original film, Lunatic, that whole set of films there. I think that'll be fun when we get to doing that. Speaking of film stuff, you never know what you're going to find. You might see something pop up when you least expect it. Basically, okay, with Lunatic, I'm still writing it. I want to get, I want to make sure that that is set and finalized before I start filming because I'm at the point right now where I do not know if I want this to be a just one full final film or if I'm going to split it and make Lunatic 3 and 4, but we'll see. I'm still working on that. Narrator episode 3, I think you might be seeing something from that in the next couple months, maybe sometime in April. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to, get too hyped up about it yet, but we'll see. We'll see about that. So yeah, I'm blabbing. Thank you all so much for checking out episode 2 of the podcast. Like I said earlier, go and check out the channel full of something that'll tickle your fancy or tickle your taste buds. I'm sure there's something bound there that you will find that you like. From film stuff, like I said, I make my own films. I'm a filmmaker. I direct, write, edit, act in, all that stuff. I do everything. I do the music for it all here on my iPad with GarageBand. I make my own music for everything that I do. Original films, fan films, all that stuff. Intros, all that good stuff. So check out the original films, like I said, Lunatic 1, Lunatic 2, the Narrator Anthology Series, Episode 1, The Closet Creatures, Episode 2, The Abductors, all that good stuff, fan film stuff. The director from Halloween Horror Nights, H.R. Blood and Guts from Halloween Horror Nights, all that cool stuff. I want to do a Scarecrow fan film. I've teased that a few times. So there's so much stuff. There's a Freddy fan film I want to do because after Lunatic 3, I want to do something else. I want to do a fan film or something like that. But we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Obviously, I have a bunch of video game stuff, like I've said multiple times in this episode. Let's plays, reviews, first impressions on mostly VR games. That's what I like to do. It's fun. And of course, music stuff. Like I said, I do all my own music. I write it all in the GarageBand on the iPad, so it's awesome. I love it. And yeah, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that YouTube stuff that everyone says. I'm blabbing. Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of the Blind Eye Podcast. As far as right now, it's exclusively on YouTube unless I can figure out how to put it on Apple and Spotify and all that good stuff, but that'll be later on down the line. And like I said, this is with the earbuds, with the microphone, and get ready because when I get that mixer, it's going to get a whole lot better quality. It's going to be so cool. It's going to be exciting. New equipment, new way of recording. I'll be able to use my laptop and Final Cut Pro X. So I am excited to try all this stuff, which now that I've got the external storage for my laptop, videos are going to be way better. And Lunatic 3, I cannot wait to eventually start filming with that, using the green screen and all that stuff when that time comes after I'm done writing it. Still writing it. But yeah, I'm blabbing. Check out the channel. Movie stuff, music stuff, video game stuff, all that good stuff is there. Check it all out. And check out TikTok, by the way. because I do quick reviews on drinks, energy drinks, alcoholic drinks, normal soda drinks, all that good stuff. Check out TikTok at Blind Eye. I think I'm going to get rid of the official and change it, but yeah, I'm blabbing. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope to see you all for episode 3 of the Blind Eye podcast, and that's it. Thank you all so much for listening. I will see you all for whatever comes next.